bro fist to you all. Welcome once again to glorious drama time, where we get to end the week here by celebrating the weird and wonderful world that is the online superhighway, with many, many stories. Out in your MMO land, you guys encounter some wonderful, wonderful people, don't you? Some awesome people from around the world. Doesn't matter what way of life they live. But then on occasion, you run into someone who's just a little bit strange, a little bit odd, a little bit interesting, and perhaps it's you who's a little bit strange, or perhaps you seek judgment from our wonderful court who is here, our jury who is here to render verdict on your actions. And definitely, it should be pointed out, we do not have an innocent emote, we only have guilty. What that says about us, I don't really know, but that is the nature of the beast. That is what we do. So you can send us your tale to drama@preachgaming.com. You can send us your tale of strangeness that you occurred. And today we have 5 tales in front of us. I'm kind of curious on this story where Bex has had to remake it to make any kind of sense. I still have no idea what's happening, but I think you can make it work, Mike. Okay, let's do our best. Can we piece our way through this nightmare? Because obviously not everybody is a native English speaker. You don't have to worry about that. I will do my best to make it work. Okay, there's quite a lot of people in this. Am I going to have a hard time here? I think so. There's a lot of people. All right, we need wonderful Jessica. All names in drama time are taken from our wonderful website supporters. Thank you very much. We have kept this show going now for several years. Wonderful people. Wonderboy. Martin. Oh, God. And Proki. And Proki. Alright, this is titled I Want to Clear, see, I think, the Purple-Haired Panda. Okay. Okie dokie. Welcome. Happy Lalafell Day. Happy Lala Day. Alright, where are we going now? Preacher, the good lady Bex, and your terrible chat. Well, this is somebody who doesn't seem to want to render judgment, I see. Preacher, I sent you a few tales over the years, depending on the era of my stories. You've called me everything from a good guy, sensible. You also called me a dick and a pussy. Yeah, maybe. That's entirely possible. All of these titles were well deserved, and I accept the court's just rulings, though Bex has tagged my last story on the website with dickhead. Is this true, Bex? Is this true? You tagged some of the stories on the website with dickhead. And I'll admit, that did sting. But here I am again with another tale for you. A little newbie tale. But it happened one weekend when my 7-year-old daughter... Oh, no, man. No, I have a 7-year-old. They're too young. My 7-year-old daughter approached me while I was cooking, asking if she could play WoW after dinner. Oh, play games. Sure, Boomkin Burger, the daughter. What would you like to play? I asked her. I fully expected one of her usual answers. Basketball, board games, or just dancing together in the living room. But not this time. Shyly she asked, can I play your game with you? Now, I'll be honest, it's not the first time that she'd ever played WoW. There was a short while where she played a Blood Elf warrior, and every time she logged in was somehow called to the ocean, as if a siren lay off the coast, where Boomkin Burger promptly would drown her character every single fucking time I let her play on the PC. Praise be. Praise be. But that was before she had learned to read. Once she had started picking up the written word, WoW had been off limits. Really? I asked. You want to play World of Warcraft? Nodders. And after dinner, into the office we went. I sat her down at my wife's computer. Smart play. Don't let her touch yours, yeah? Yeah? Prometheus. You know what I mean? Don't touch Midas. You stay over there on the wife's computer. I have a 3080. She has a 3070. That's the way it must be. Yeah? That's the way it must be. To assert dominance. Yeah? Can't be walking around with the worst GPU. No thanks. No thanks. That's the way it's got to be. Asserting my manliness over it. How much memory you got? 64 gig? Yeah. She's got 32. It's more than enough. More than enough. She booted up World of Warcraft and I did the same on my PC. We went over the various races and wouldn't you know it? She instantly fell in love with the panda. A panda with purple hair. And because she likes animals so much, she wanted to play a hunter. Yes, my friends, a piece of my soul died that my lovely, precious daughter would be a panda hunter with big purple hair. But this disappointment is the fate of all fathers. Hey, my kids are share video games as well. I know that disappointment. I know that disappointment all too well. All too well. It is our fate as gamers to watch and forget how bad we were at those years. Now, I'm not an idiot, Mike. I'm not an idiot, chat. I made my own Panda Hunter, and as soon as we logged in, I disabled all her trade, general, and zone channels. Mostly because of those monsters to the right of you. I don't know what he's saying. We gave everybody free text-to-speech today, and it was honestly a calm and relaxing day, wasn't it? Wasn't it, guys? It was a calm and relaxing day. It was. It was a very calm and relaxing day. I also decided we start the Panda starting zone. It's a big turtle. Because in all these years, I'd never actually played a Pandaren, and doing anything new in WoW anymore is a rare thing. So we're all set up, logged in and ready to go. Boomkin Burger, do you see that guy with the big exclamation point on his head? He's going to tell us what we need to do. We're going to do like a favor for him. It's called a quest. But we'll have to get closer to him first. Okay, Daddy, she said, and I watched her keyboard turn. I restrained from lurching over to the room and decided to pay more attention as she waddled her way towards the quest giver. Ping-ponging back and forth like a drunken Welshman stumbling for his favourite sheep. Sorry, Bex. Sorry, Jack. A note from Bex. I'm tagging this drama dickheads just because he made this Welsh remark. I am Madge. I want to say I'm not ad-libbing that. That's actually written here in bright red text. You have too much power, Bex. You have too much power. There's an easier way of doing that, I told her. If you want to turn your character, you can use your mouse. Okay, Daddy. We accepted the first quest and off we went to kill our first creatures, and she merrily keyboard turned her way behind me. As we moved through the area and completed more quests, I noticed something strange in the way she moved. Besides the keyboard turning, she was only turning right. Even if she needed to aim slightly to the left, she would do a full disco spin to the right to get there. Boomkin Burger, sweetie, why are you only turning right? I asked, confused. Firmly, though, she stated, as if I was a fucking moron, that button is easier to press. Okay. Well, just remember, you can also turn with the mouse. Okay? Okay, Daddy, she said, and went straight back to the keyboard. Sure, Daddy. Fucking grandpa. Using my keyboard. I was getting dizzy watching her and frustrated. And I wasn't the only one. We moved from exclamation point to people to question mark people, knocking out quests as she learned how to loot corpses, follow me around, and when I noticed another panda was following her. Jesus Christ, please don't be like a pedo. Don't do that. Now, what I recognized immediately was what this other person was seeing while they watched us. My panda was fully equipped in heirloom gear. I was using my limited low-level abilities to kill everything. While my daughter's panda was equipping whatever bullshit she picked up off the enemies, running into one wall or another, lagging behind and awkwardly looting bosses, then spinning on the spot to turn around like a jackal eyeing up the field. This other panda could see that one of us was an alpha predator and the other was prey. All right, the stranger said to her. Who's that? My daughter asked me. Is this one of your friends, Daddy? No, baby. Just ignore him. Now, it's possible it was some other kid, maybe, or a newbie of some sort, but I knew better. We pushed on and did a couple more quests with this other panda giving us the stink eye. They weren't on the same quest, or if they were, they weren't bothering to do it, just giving particularly my daughter the stink eye. All right. They said again for the 4th or 5th time. Piss off, I typed. Wasn't talking to you, was I? They retorted. Now, I'm a pretty chill guy. When you have this many kids, you kind of have to be chill. But there are a few things that will cause rage to fill me. And creeping on kids is one of those things. That's just generally creeping on my daughter. I'm no badass. I like my violence in the pixelated format. But I do feel that rage rise when somebody is creeping on my little girl. She's my daughter. And if you try to talk to her again, I'm going to your house and ripping your balls off through your throat. Daddy, that's disgusting, my daughter exclaimed. I had to apologize for my use of language. Daddy. Right, I remembered that she can read. The other person fucked off and I reported them. You reported them? I think they thought you were botting. They had no idea that it was a little girl. They probably thought you were botting, but you reported them for it, for trying to get that character to talk. Yeah, that guy probably just thought you were a bot or something. You've reported that guy? Yeah, there's literally no way he knows it's a kid. Like, what the fuck is this? He's just literally walked into this clown show that's going on. But levels came and we continued on. Eventually, she was able to tame her first pet, and she wanted, what, of course, one of the little fox creatures, which she named Lisa because, I don't know, I like the name Lisa. It wasn't long, however, until the creatures around us weren't quite so friendly, and one of them attacked her. As I turned my character to shoot it, she turned slowly on the spot and ran away. Where are you going? It's biting me. I'm going to hide behind the rock. I looked again, and sure enough, there was a little tuft of purple panda hair visible behind a large rock. Doesn't really work like that. You can't just hide. Just press your buttons like I showed you, and you can shoot them. No, she insisted. I was surprised by what almost sounded like anger in her tone. Why? Why not? I am not hurting animals! Okay. At this point, I recognized that maybe she was still too young for this game. I also, of course, realized that she hadn't actually attacked any of the creatures up until this point. I had done everything. She was okay looting their corpses, but she was not okay slicing their throats. She was not going to fight for victory over the cuddly little foxes, all of whom in her mind were probably named Lisa in her mind. We'll get to that later, maybe when animals aren't so cute to her. Pacifist run. We pushed on, and every time you kept playing. Oh my god. We pushed on, and every time she was attacked, she found places to hide while I killed the mobs. Her usually ninja pulling a fair amount on the way to hiding the place. She died over and over again. Each time I tried to explain how to get back to her body, but the minimap remained a complete baffling mystery to her. And so eventually, I did the only thing we can do in this situation, fellas. I grabbed the keyboard and mouse, put her back into her spirit, and then we could game on. Now, anybody who's played a panda will know there's a point where you have to jump on a pole, then leap from pole to pole until you reach the center of the area and ring a bell of victory. I do not remember doing this. I have done the Pandaren starting zone. I do not remember that happening. As a physical feat, this would be tremendously difficult. But in the game, it's literally 3 clicks to finish it. So you don't have to physically jump, you just click the poles. I don't remember ever getting, like, I don't remember that. I don't know. I did the beta testing for that. Do you just click the poll and it automatically jumps you over? Okay. Now, I want to be clear, I didn't say this to her, but I am not exaggerating when I say I would rather smash my cock into a sliding glass door than ever suffer through trying to get my beautiful, wonderful, beloved daughter to do this quest ever again. Just click the poll, I'd say to her. Just click the poll. I am, Daddy. It's not working. Right click, the right mouse button. Just click the poll. Just click on it. That's all you've got to do is just click on it. No, not that poll. The poll that's close to you, right? No, that's the poll that you just came from. You need to click the poll after that one. Just click the poll. No, closer. The middle one. The middle one. Just click the middle one. You see where we need to go? You see that bell? Click the one that's leading you there. Not that one. Not that one. No. Just fucking... Just click the fuck... I wanted to just reach over and do it for her. But she was desperate to learn the game and wouldn't have it. She would get angry if I would touch the mouse and keyboard because it was her character. Genuinely, it was so fucking bad that about halfway through, I think she was just trolling me. And after the great jump pole debacle of 2022, I decided that this could not be allowed. My wife uses one of those Razer gamepads. No, it's too young. She must learn the keyboard and the mouse. You're corrupting her. So I decided to break out the gamepad and set it up for her, hoping it might make the game easier. I told her easily how to move, what all the buttons do. Okay, Daddy, she told me with a heartwarming smile. I went back to my computer and off we went, with her keyboard spinning her panda, ping-ponging down the path. No, darling. Like I said, you can use the joystick to move the character. You don't need the keyboard turn anymore. I remember, but this way is easier. I felt at this point that her gameplay was... I felt at this point that her gameplay was so bad that perhaps she was adopted. There is no way this wonderful little girl has my DNA inside her. I'm just saying. I have never had this problem with my non-adopted sons. We got to one part, we have to kill a load of mobs and pull some ribbons or something out of a tree, when yet again she ninja pulled some mobs and ran right off a cliff into the ocean. I don't know how many times she died at this point, despite my protecting her like the Secret Service, but it was many. I was struggling with what to do. How do I make this better for us all? So I did the only thing I felt I could do. Hey, sweetheart. Why don't you go and get yourself a little snack? Oh, she loves snacks. She loves a snack. She thought it was a grand idea, and I logged out. Now, it had taken us an hour to get to this point together. I deleted my hunter and created a priest instead. I caught up to our progress within about 15 minutes. She was back with her biscuit and ready to continue, but now at least I could res her when she died. Eventually, she got to level 10, and since she loves animals so much, I spec'd her into beast mastery. She tamed a brand new pet, a tiger, who she named Ice Cream. Lisa and Ice Cream. Also because I think she was hungry at the time, and we had ice cream in the freezer. So, there she was. A purple-haired panda with a fox named Lisa and a tiger named Ice Cream. Her weapon unused and still sporting that new bow smell, spinning clockwise at every movement. And not long after, wouldn't you know it, the whole island was actually, of course, a giant turtle. I actually didn't know this and thought this is fucking badass. You mean we've been running around on a turtle the whole time? Yes, I said. Isn't that awesome? But what if he decides to go underwater? I know how to swim, but pandas don't know how to swim. So, my daughter's a cliche. She won't attack creatures to save her life. She's a dedicated keyboard turner who uses absolutely zero of her abilities. She's terrified of the giant turtle drowning her to death. But she does like cutscenes. I feel like she's easily as good as 15% of the adult WoW population I've played with. But I couldn't let this stand. If she was going to play in my presence, then she needed to learn how to play. Now, Preach, you're a dad, and you know the importance of placing some feasible challenges in front of your child and allow them to work it out on their own. I do. I had my kids sort out the high cupboard in the kitchen recently. They were pretty clever, but they built some sort of monstrosity with chairs, which I didn't see coming, honestly. It was a little dangerous, but I supervised, and they got it done. They got it done. I always tell my kids, what would you do? It's very easy to motivate kids. You say, what would you do if I wasn't here? And the only time that has not worked for me is when they needed to turn the shower on, which they could easily reach, and instead they climbed on the side of the bath and started to do some Spider-Man shit to do it. Risky. It builds problem-solving skills and confidence. And after we finished the newbie area, when we could finally choose an expansion to level in, I decided we would return to one of my favorite places of all time. World of Warcraft, Legion. For the benefit of your FF viewers in the Legion expansion, there weren't any weapons that dropped for loot. Instead, every single spec of every class got what was called an artifact weapon, which we could improve as we went through the expansion, rather than replacing it with new weapon drops. In order to get your hands on this wonderful artifact weapon, you were given a very simple quest to do in the intro of the game. Of note for wonderful Boomkin Burger, though, these quests do have to be soloed, so my priest wouldn't be able to help her. So I figured this is probably the best tutorial for her to learn some things about the game. Things like reading what to do, using the mini-map. While I completed my priest artifact quest, I offered suggestions to her. Now, on your little map there, in the corner, do you see the yellow circle? That's where you need to go. You're the arrow in the middle of the map, so whatever way you're facing is the direction the arrow is pointing. This did not work. At all. In my daughter's defense, the reason she was adopted is because she was born addicted to opioids. Oh, Jesus, what the fuck? Where did that come from? What the hell? What kind of twist is that? Jesus fuck. Okay. Did not see that coming. Did not see that coming. That came out of nowhere. Both of her... So she's actually adopted. Oh. I thought you were saying she must be adopted because she was so shit at games. But she's actually adopted. Okay. Both of her parents were born drug addicts. She was in the NICU for over a month when she was first born, giving her extreme small size and needed to detox. When she was 3 months old, she suffered some respiratory arrest and had to be revived by paramedics. Dude, this is horrible. What are you making me read here? She spent a month in hospital, hooked onto an electroencephalogram, monitoring her brain to see how long she had gone without oxygen. My wife and I have had 3 boys. And on hearing the story of this poor baby girl and that my friend in the Child Protective Services was having trouble finding a placement for her, we volunteered to take her in. CPS came and did their usual inspections and interviews, and before Boomkin Burger left the hospital, we had the court order for custody, and she's been our daughter ever since. Top shelf. Does she know she's adopted? She would have been, what, like 2 months old maybe or something? But my darling daughter sometimes has trouble with abstract concepts. It's the only real challenge we've noticed with her in the years since. She's very intelligent, but there's a definite disconnect when it comes to the abstract. For instance, tomorrow is any day at any point in the future, not just the following day. Oh, I see. Huh. Interesting. Don't you find that stuff super interesting? Yeah, I find that super interesting. It's like, can't put it, knows it's in the future, understands the concept of the future, but doesn't understand that tomorrow is specifically the next day. That's crazy. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. We're still searching for a way to teach her math in a way she'll understand, as both the math you and I grew up with, Mike, and the Zoomer math all go over her head. Zoomer math is kind of dog shit. I teach my son old school math, and his teacher actually asked me to stop doing it. I know how I do long division. That's all I'm saying. And multiplying fractions. I know how I do it, but apparently the new Zoomer method is the way to go. I don't know. Mostly, she seems to learn math best with candy-based examples. Yeah. Math is math. Well, math is not math if you study advanced math. There's nothing worse than doing degree-level math, where every year they teach you that what they taught you the year before is not how it actually works. Because math that you tend to teach below that is like giga basic math and ignores what's actually going on to just give you the concept of math. Anybody who's ever done fucking higher maths knows that every time you move up to the next level, they go, right, everything you learned is absolutely not how this works. So just especially mechanics, they're like, well, yeah, I mean, that's the basic thing we teach you, but the reality is more like this. We decided to take a break from the game and formulate a new plan. How can we teach her how to be not shit? It would be a while before I came up with a plan. But occasionally on raid night, she would come into the office, jump on my wife's computer to play around with a little panda. Typically, this would involve finding new and inventive ways to kill herself, usually by methods I actually didn't know were possible inside of Dalaran. Once, she even managed to die. You can die in Dalaran? Or you could jump off something, I suppose, but how would she get up there? One time, she managed to die outside of the inn. And when I went to reclaim her body, I got the message that she would have to enter the instance to claim her corpse. To this day, I have no fucking clue how she did this. I assume she got a damage over time out of Violet Hold that ticked out as she got back to the inn. Right? No, because her body was in the instance. I don't know. One evening, while I was progressing on Anduin, she chimed in to me. Daddy, this person wants to talk to you. I was distracted by the fight and didn't think anything of it until we wiped, and then I was available to answer. Raider engaged. Dad put to the side. Raider engaged. Be right with you in a minute. What? She repeated, this person wants to talk to you. I went to her PC and found this exchange that had taken place in the pink. All right. Hello. Like your character. Me too. How old are you? 7. Question mark, question mark. Do you have a boyfriend? Ew. Are your parents there? Hello? To which I, of course, then replied, talk to my daughter again, and I'll spend every night for the rest of my life falling asleep happy, remembering my last vision of freedom, the screwdriver sticking out of your face. I reported him, as it was appropriate, then went into her chat box setting and turned off all player-initiated communication from appearing. How the fuck did these absolute douche canoes even discover her? Now, about this time, I realized I was being stupid about how I was teaching her to play, and recognized that the hands-off approach I'd given her to Hunter Artifact Quest was probably wrong. So one Sunday afternoon, I sat down at my wife's computer with her on my lap, and we went through the quest together, with me reading the objectives and challenging her on how we could figure out where to go and what to do. She had so much fun and eventually got her bow. I do suspect her primary reason for doing this is just to spend time with you. I discover that about my kids a lot, is they will suggest some game they know I like just to watch and be around. They do it quite a lot. It's like, Daddy, why don't we play this game? That would be cool, wouldn't it? Is it 2-player? Yeah, my boys do it all the time. They'll suggest some game they absolutely hate, but the game like Demon Souls. They ask me if we can do Demon Souls. Like, okay. But still, when it came to killing the cute little crabs or slaying vicious puppies, she would have none of that. It occurred to me that I wasn't just being stupid about how to teach her, but about everything. After finishing her artifact quest, I looked down at her and asked, "Do you want to play some basketball?" She jumped out of my lap. Yes, let's go! That makes more sense. Now, I can't say that I totally didn't dunk on her face because she needs to learn. Oh, you figured it out as well. Yeah. But what she was after the whole time was not World of Warcraft. She couldn't give a shit. Or to play a video game. She just wanted to play with me. She had initially offered to play the game because she knew I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a classic kids maneuver. So a few lessons to take away from all of this. If you're a parent, sometimes it's important to challenge your kids and let them figure shit out. Watching them solve problems genuinely is a satisfying part of parenthood. Truly is. But sometimes it doesn't have to be a teaching moment. And what they want to do is just fucking play. Second, if you see a purple-haired panda running in the walls of Dalaran with Lisa and Ice Cream, her constant companions, don't you dare fucking whisper her. You might just end up in my basement where I can explore all manner of medieval torture. And lastly, while my wife suggests I made some work on my coping skills before Boomkid Burger gets to an age where she doesn't think all boys are gross, I see my protective rage as a you problem, not really a me problem. I know you've talked about adopting a child, Mike. I think you should. I love all my kids dearly, but my daughter will have a distinct place in my heart, in part because she's my only girl, but also because of the genuine reward of rescuing a child from such circumstances. Also, if any of you need more convincing, my attorney tells me that 3 is better than 2. Oh, it's you! No way! No way! It's you! It's Contract Andy! No way! No way! It's Contractual Andy. So you're trying for... I'm confused. Because the contract was for the 3rd child, or was it for the 4th? Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah, that doesn't work. I think it's just a reference to it. Okay. Yeah, it's just a reference to it. Yeah. He just used it as a quote. Oh, that was exciting until the numbers didn't add up. I hope everybody enjoyed my little tale on a Friday. Cheers to you all, and 2 drinks all round, guys. Wow, that was lovely. That was a lovely, wholesome drama after our fucking guilty elitist in our first story. That was fantastic. I'm going to love you and leave you. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, my voice is disappearing. Which is never good. But hopefully we'll do something over the weekend. I think we'll do some Mythic Plus or something. But I'll see how that goes. On that, have a great... If I don't make it, I'll tweet and let you know. Use text-to-speech only on certain occasions. And besides, you guys spent over nearly 200 million channel points today. So everybody's running on empty. Be awesome, guys. I'll see you again. Bye, guys.